Cobweb. 8-year-old Peter lives tormented by the mysterious noises coming from inside the wall of his bedroom. His parents insist that they are only in his imagination. As Peter's fear intensifies, he begins to believe that his parents might be hiding a terrible and dangerous secret. What's scarier for a child than to stop trusting his own family? This horror and suspense film, directed by Samuel Bowden in his directorial debut, features renowned actors such as Lizzie Kaplan in the role of Carol, Anthony Starr as Mark, Cleopatra Coleman as Miss Divine, and child actor Woody Norman in the lead role of Peter. We found the story quite interesting and mysterious from the beginning, with good elements of intrigue and suspense that, although they are not scary at first, keep you hooked to the screen. Without giving out any spoilers, we will only tell you that there are moments as the film develops, and when one, as a spectator, goes deeper into the mystery surrounding the story, that one begins to assume that the story is not of horror, but rather a psychological thriller due to what has been seen until that moment on the screen. But that is far from being a correct assumption. With sincerity, we tell you that it is a horror story. It is worth mentioning that the story itself contains unexpected twists and surprises that further enhance this production. In our opinion, this film is quite original in how it explores and presents the horror element of the story, an element that takes its time to appear, but when it does, it gives you a good scare. On the other hand, the end of the story is, in its own way, both shocking and surprising. As for the production elements, such as the cinematography, makeup, special effects and set designs, these are all good. The performances of the 4 main actors in their respective roles seemed good to us. In short, this movie, although not extremely creepy, kept us intrigued and entertained until the end, and we found it to be good in its entirety. That's why we gave it a score of 3 stars out of 5. It's a good option to watch. Talk to Me. Lonely teenager Mia gets hooked on the thrill of summoning spirits using an embalmed hand. But when confronted with a soul claiming to be her dead mother, she unleashes a plague of supernatural forces and is torn between deciding who she can trust, the living or the dead. This Australian supernatural horror film, directed by Danny and Michael Philippou, has a story that we found it to be not only original in its own way, but interesting, intriguing, dramatic, and with an acceptable dose of suspense and terror that keeps you entertained from start to finish. The horror element within the story is adequate, being presented at the right moments throughout the development of the movie without being exaggerated, absurd, or ridiculous as in other productions of this genre. We honestly tell you that the story made us think if we would participate in the invocation of spirits as shown in the movie, and the truth is that we don't know for sure if we would do it or not. Would you do it? Years ago, I played the Ouija board with some friends, and the truth is that it was a rather strange and mysterious experience. I told a Catholic priest that I knew about this experience, and he told me some words that I still remember. If you play with fire, you get burned. Food for thought, don't you think? As for the cinematography and makeup, we find these 2 production elements decent. The performances of the cast generally seemed good to us, highlighting that of the main actress Sophie Wilde in the role of Mia. That is quite convincing and believable. So, this production, although it's not super terrifying or anything like that, satisfies your expectations in an acceptable way, and we consider it a good film. That's why we give it a score of 3 stars out of 5. We recommend that you watch it if you haven't done so already. Just in case, we inform you that a sequel is already in production. Until next time!